everyone, so this video review is for Marigold by Melissa Brayden. If you want to check out my review, I've just posted that. So if you're on YouTube, there's a link in the description below, and if you're on my blog, then there is a link within the post. And this is the video review. So Marigold by Melissa Brayden. Everyone needs a Marigold in their life, like everyone. Like, you wouldn't believe it. Once you've read this, you'll know what I mean. Marigold is annoyed and upset on her sister Asta's behalf when Alexis, who's a food reviewer / critic, produces a report on her experience at Asta's restaurant that is not so nice. When her actions end up getting Alexis cancelled, Alexis returns with the intention of making sure Marigold pays for the damage, but she ends up learning so much more about Marigold and her family, and then she ends up developing feelings that she just never expected to have. This is an absolutely delicious story. It had drama, had intense moments, and it had so much cuteness and sunshine that it just made me smile and really happy. Marigold is so infectious. She got right under my skin, and that's kind of what she ended up doing to Alexis. She just got right under her skin, and then she just couldn't really walk away from her or anything. She was just so intrigued by Marigold and the way she behaved and did things and her passions. She's one of those really loyal, passionate people. She's got a deep-rooted sense of care for her family, and all that made her really emotionally complex, and I couldn't help but be sort of drawn to her, admire what she wanted to do, and all, you know, I wanted her to have all the happiness in the world, because if anyone deserved it, it was someone like that, who was so caring about everyone else and put everyone else's needs first. When Alexis came back, I was sure that, you know, all hell was about to break loose, and it turned out that it was just impossible for her to resist Marigold and her whole family. They were everywhere, and then they were so nice. They were all so nice and friendly and welcoming despite what had happened, and it was great how they all got to know Alexis, so they could all learn. They wanted to know her beyond the food reviewer. They weren't, you know, they weren't judging her on, you've hurt someone in our family, so I'm not going to talk to you. They were protective, all of them, even Marigold, but they were still wanted to get to know her and try and work out if she was this person they perceived her to be. So I loved Marigold and Alexis together, both when they kept running into one another and Alexis was kind of hesitant and awkward during their communications, but when they finally started to realise that there might be room for one another in their lives, that's when it got really, really magical and was lovely. Alexis got the most unexpected reaction from this town, where she was sure her name was dirt, and she was sure her career was completely ruined, and yet Marigold found the one thing she'd been searching for her whole life in Alexis, and then Alexis found that it wasn't as bad as she thought. It was just amazing how, yeah, they fitted with one another, and they were perfect for one another. And then Marigold could finally have these opportunities she'd always wanted to take, but she'd held back because she'd been worrying about taking care of everyone and everything else. But Alexis turning up was that moment that her family could really get through to her, that they were grateful and appreciative of her help, but that she shouldn't stop living her life. She would always be there, you know, and they all had each other, and she didn't have to be the centre. She didn't have to be the glue that held everyone together from that particular point. She could still do it from anywhere and follow her own dreams and her happiness. And that was so lovely. And it was Alexis that really was that catalyst to drive that to happening for her. Because if she hadn't met Alexis, she just would have stayed in the tiny little town and taken care of her family. But I adored every moment of this story, and I hope there's going to be more in future with Marigold and Alexis, because I think they have a really exciting future, and I couldn't put this down. I loved every second. Every page was full of excitement and wonder and heaps of positivity from Marigold, so it just makes you feel really happy. And even when things seemed hopeless or not possible, there was still that little bit of brightness and sunshine coming from Marigold. So it was just an uplifting and really fun romance that I really, really enjoyed, and I hope you will too. So I'll pop a link in the description so you can grab a copy of Marigold by Melissa Brayden, which I really, really hope you will. If you've read Marigold, would love to know what you thought of it, so please do share your thoughts. If you haven't read it yet but you're planning to read it, it's on your to-be read list, or you're now super intrigued and thinking, yes, I really want to read that, then again, it would be great to know what you're interested in reading. And if you do read it, I hope you have a lot of fun reading it, because I did, and it really made me smile and feel really happy, and I hope you'll have that same feeling. Bye.